Please record. Vanakkam, Namaste, greetings to all. Welcome to the World Peace and Harmony Meditation Group. Every day we are doing meditation for World Peace and Harmony at 9 a.m., 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. UK time. I would like to mention that we can be proud that we have achieved 769 days of daily meditation 3 times a day, for which we are grateful to all those who contributed to this achievement. Today, first, there will be meditation by Siva Mohan Master with the calming music. After that, our guest speaker, Mr. Mohinderijit Singh Alg from London, will deliver a talk on the topic Sikhism and World Peace Part 2. There will be a summary of his speech in Tamil by Kumarasamy Pilla Master from Sydney, Australia. Thereafter, question and answer discussion session will take place in English and Tamil. Now, I invite Siva Mohan Master to conduct the meditation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Greetings to all. Anevarukkum vanakkam. Today is Friday, 23rd June 2023. We will do meditation for 30 minutes. Thanks for joining. We are blessed to have this opportunity. We will get ready now. Sit in a comfortable position. Keep your body relaxed. Keep your head upright. Please remove your specs. Gently close your eyes. You will save 80% of universal energy. Interlock your fingers like this and keep on your lap. This will save 10% universal energy. Keep your feet crossed. You will save balance 10% of the universal energy. Now, focus on your normal, natural breath. In breath and out breath. Breath is our guru. You may get thoughts during meditation. However, you need to concentrate on your breath and again. Gradually, your thoughts will lessen. Please don't open your eyes until an announcement is made. Now, a melodious music will be played. Please do meditation now. Thank you. இப்பொழுது இந்த அருமையான தியானத்தை செய்வதற்காக நீங்கள் அனைவரும் வசதியான இருக்கைகளில் அமர்ந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உங்கள் கால்களை ஒன்றன் மேல் ஒன்றாக இவ்வாறு வைத்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள். உங்கள் கைவிரல்களை இவ்வாறு கோர்த்து கொண்டு கண்ணாடி அணிந்திருந்தால் அதனை நகர்த்தி வைத்து விடுங்கள். மெதுவாக கண்களை மூடி தியானம் செய்யும் போது எங்கள் சிந்தனைகள் சிதறலாம். அவற்றை நாங்கள் விலக்கி வைத்துக் கொண்டு எமது எண்ணம் மூச்சின் மேல் கவனமாய் இருத்தல் வேண்டும். நமது மூச்சை உள்ளெடுத்து மூச்சை வெளிவிடுவதே இத்தியானத்தின் சிறப்பான உன்னத நிலையாகும். எனவே அனைவரும் உங்கள் மூச்சை கவனத்தில் கொண்டு இப்பொழுது ஒரு அருமையான இசை வழங்கப்படும். எதிர்வரும் 30 நிமிடங்கள் நாம் அனைவரும் ஒன்றிணைந்து இத்தியானத்தை மேற்கொள்வோம். நன்றி. Masters, please come back to your normal awareness. Separate your hands and you put your fingers gently over your eyes. Open your eyes gently 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We will clap our hands for 1 minute and enjoy. அனைவரும் உங்கள் இயல்பு நிலைக்கு வாருங்கள். இப்பொழுது மெதுவாக உங்கள் கண்களை திறந்து கைகளை கண்கள் மேல் வைத்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள். 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. இப்பொழுது நாம் அனைவரும் இணைந்து ஒரு அருமையான தியானத்தை செய்தமைக்காக கரவொலி செய்து நன்றி கூறி மகிழ்வோம். Now hand over to Mr. Srikandarajah Master. Thank you. Nandri Vanakkam.
Thank you. Vanakkam. Namaste. We thank everyone who took part in our joint meditation today, focusing on peace of mind, psychological healing, and for the world peace and harmony with the blessings of the cosmic power. When we meditate jointly, it helps to generate a social force in the form of oneness that spreads across all nations around the world to promote peace and harmony and in general well-being to everyone around the world. Our sincere thanks to who conducted the meditation, Siva Mohan Master, who conducted the meditation today. And recording this event by Dr. Jagannathan from Ilford, East London. We would also like to thank PSSM Tamil Europe, PMC TV, which is part of PSSM Global. May the whole world be blessed with peace, harmony, prosperity, and well-being. வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளத்துடன். Our guest speaker today is Mr. Mohinderijit Singh Alg from Wimbledon, London, born in Tanzania, came to UK around 1975, qualified in biological sciences, worked for civil service in the Westminster and Whitehall area throughout his career. Retired from British Cabinet Office, number 10 Downing Street, that is Prime Minister's office, some years ago. There will be a summary of Mr. Singh's speech in Tamil by Kumarasamy Pillai Master from Sydney, Australia as well. Now I invite Mr. Singh to talk on Sikhism and world peace. This is part 2 of his speech. Thank you very much. Welcome, Mr. Singh.
Hello, everyone. Mr. Raja and Mrs. Raja, you can hear me properly?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. Right, wherever you are, thank you very much, first of all, to Mr. and Mrs. Raja, who invited me to talk on Sikhism, which I believe is a very important subject, which is because it's one of the 4 dharmic religions of the Indian subcontinent, and the latest one, which is only about 500 years old. So, first of all, as I said, hello, and whatever, I know there are different times in different parts of the world. So, hello and vanakkam, which is probably common to everyone, and sat sri akal from the Sikhism. Right. In my first part of the speech, rather than talk, was just a gist about Sikhism, what Sikhism was. The second part will involve more into it, how or when it was started by whom, and how it got involved. It evolved over the years, and in fact, it took 239 years before the Khalsa, the actual Sikhism, started in force. So rather than taking much time on that, because there's a lot to cover, I think I'll start talking about it. Right. So I'll say, as this is a meditation and peace and harmony project, then the knowledge about Sikhism history definitely fits in this. Because Sikhism, probably a lot of people don't know, is actually the most peaceful religion. It all started from peace. So Sikhism advocates equality, social justice, service to humanity, and tolerance for other religions. The essential message for Sikhism is spiritual devotion and reverence of God at all times, while practicing the ideals of honesty, compassion, humility, and generosity in everyday life. This is why the principles of Sikhism are common to all humanity, and such set of rules will always prevail until eternity. It's akin to Sanatana Dharma, which is everlasting, eternal truth, perpetual. So it's very much akin to Sanatana Dharma. Why I say Sikhism is very important for Hindustan, or now we call it India, is because although it's a fourth dharmic religion in India, but basically it is the second most populated religion in India, in Hindustan, because the two others, which is Buddhism and Jainism, have dwindled in numbers. Because Buddhism has gone into forests and numbers there have increased. Jainism overall has merged into Hinduism. So that's why, in fact, Hinduism and Sikhism basically are part of the proper Hindustan or India. And it is very important that two religions go hand in hand to go forward for the sake of India's prosperity. Right, so that was just a general introduction of the Sikhism, right? So there were 10 gurus, and it's impossible to cover the knowledge about all the gurus in one go. I think it's going to take a few sessions because each guru brought in different and new things, right? So rather than going more about other things, I think I'll start with Guru Nanak, right? The first guru, right? Which is, well, most important, but I would say all the other gurus were as important because all added up to the principles of Sikhism. But anyway, I think Guru Nanak, probably majority of the people know more than the other gurus, and it would be very interesting to follow it up with other gurus, and you'll be surprised to see how much other gurus have done for Hindustan. You'll be actually shocked because most of the people I've come across don't know about it. And in my previous first talk, I noticed that most of the audience had shown a lot of interest in Sikhism, and I noticed that there was an appetite to learn more because Tamils are known to be great educationists and great learners. We all know that they're amongst the most intelligent people. Right, okay, so I'll start with the Sikh gurus overall, and then come to the Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Okay, so the 10 gurus of Sikhism. Right? Sikhism was established by 10 gurus. Sorry, Raja, if I'm speaking rather too quickly, do let me know, because I think there are a lot of words, you know, I have to put a lot of tension, a lot of force on each and every word.
It's okay.
Do let me know.
It's all right, you can find it and carry on.
It's fine, is it? Okay. Right, so Sikhism was established by 10 gurus, divine spiritual messengers or masters over the period from 1469 to 1708. That is over a period of 239 years. unlike most of the other religions. If you look at the Abrahamic religions, probably it was just one prophet and the religion started from one prophet, right? This is totally different. And this is from modern times. I mean, it's only 500 years old, which is, in history, it is as if it happened yesterday. So these teachers were enlightened souls whose main purpose in life was the spiritual and moral well-being of the masses. By setting an exceptional example of how to live a holy and worthy life through practicing rigorous principles of living their human lives, they sought to awaken the higher consciousness, which is again, of course, meditation and all that, conscience in the human race. The gurus taught the people of India and beyond to live spiritually. In fact, I should say not India, because it was Hindustan at that time. Of course, at that time, the Mughals, the Muslims were in great power, but still it was called Hindustan. So to India and beyond, or Hindustan and beyond, to live spiritually fulfilling lives with dignity, freedom, and honor. Each of the 10 gurus, masters, added to and reinforced the message taught by the previous, resulting eventually to the creation of the religion that is now called Sikhism. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was the first guru, and Guru Gobind Singh Ji the final guru in human form. Guru Gobind Singh Ji, when he left the world, he decreed the Holy Scripture, Sri Guru Granth Sahib, as the eternal Guru henceforth. He didn't want a living Guru, right? Thus, the Guru Granth Sahib in spirit is more than a holy book for the Sikhs. And Guru Granth Sahib is the same, accords the same respect and reverence as they did to the human form gurus. During the span of 239 years, the Sikh gurus laid down within the sacred scriptures the principles that outline the way of living that was to be followed by all practicing disciples of this religion. The history and the literature present the followers of the faith and others with raw material required to learn about the beliefs and practices propagated by the gurus. The gurus were clear and also to outline rituals and beliefs so they're appropriate and were to be followed by faithful disciples. They promoted the habit of reciting the holy hymns and shabads and living in constant remembrance of the Supreme Creator and living a simple life of truth, decency, and virtuous principles. Right, so I'm coming down to individual gurus, which will be Guru Nanak, right? So the legend, it's the legend of 10 gurus now. The gurus in Sikhism are regarded as enlighteners and divine messengers. They were the messengers of the timeless who brought forth the eternal wisdom. They were universal men who freed our minds from bigotry and superstitions, dogmas and rituals, and emphasized the simplicity of the religion. As you all know, Hindustan at that time was full of superstitions and a lot of problematic, they were going through a lot of problems because of the upheaval of the whole society by the outsiders, by the invaders. So people had become superstitious and they had a lot of dogmas and they didn't know what to do, they were enslaved, etc., etc. Anyway, so right, now the first guru, I'm going to talk about Guru Nanak himself. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji, he was guru from 1469 to 1539. That was 69 years. The first of the gurus and the founder of the Sikh religion was Guru Nanak. He was born at Talwandi, now known as Nankana Sahib, in Pakistan. Of course, at that time it was Hindustan, and the Talwandi's town has been named after Guru Nanak. He was born on October 20, 1469. Guruji mastered Punjabi, Sanskrit, and Persian at an early stage, and in childhood revolted against ritualism, caste, prejudice, hypocrisy, and idolatry. Right, so he was, as all the gurus and all the prophets are enlighteners, they do come up with a lot of new principles, and that's why they go against the people around them. For one very simple example, I'll tell you about Guru Nanak was that when in one of the Hindu ceremonies, the Janeus, you all understand Janeu, of course, the Brahmanic thread is put, spiritual thread, right, on the males. So he said, why do I have to wear the thread around me? Well, they said this is all Hindus have to do. It's a spiritual, So, well, he said, well, what about my sister? He had one sister. What about her? Yeah, oh no, we don't do that to women. So why? From that very little time, he was showing men and women are equal. Very simple thing. Okay. He regarded Hindus and Muslims as equals and referred to himself as neither Hindu nor Muslim, but as a brother to all those who believe in God and truth, because he was a godly man. To him, religion didn't matter. Everyone is equal. Everyone is the same in his eyes. He made 4 great journeys, traveling to all parts of India and into Arabia, Persia, visiting Mecca and Baghdad. He spoke before Hindus, Jain, Buddhists, Parsis, and Muslims. He spoke in temples and mosques and at various pilgrimages. Where he went, Guru Nanak spoke out against empty religious rituals, pilgrimages, the caste system, the sacrifice of widows, of depending on books to learn true religion. He was trying to tell the Brahmins at that time that you just read the books, and the other who are lower caste Brahmins were not allowed to read the books because they were all in Sanskrit. He said, why, if you just read the books and you don't spread the knowledge, that's no good. Gaining knowledge is excellent, right? But not taking it forward is a sin. So just keeping knowledge to yourself is no good. So, and never did he ask his listeners to follow him. That was another thing. He never said that he was God. He said he is a simple human being. He asked the Muslims to be true Muslims, and the Hindus are true Hindus. The word Muslims keep on coming because that is a time in the north of India. I think we all know about history more than I know, that Muslims were absolute in power. They had enslaved. They had already done in the south. There were a lot of other small little sultanates in the south, a lot of Hindu Maharajas, but they were still, tied to all these Muslim sultanates. But they had come up to North Delhi, and they were in huge, huge power. They had covered the whole area. Right. So I think this is all I want to talk want to talk about Guru Nanak very, very in simple terms. But the next thing I want to say is, because I talked about that he went around in so many parts of the world, north, south, east, west. And in fact, it's not surprising, because 500 years old is not really, really old, right? And people even before then, like Vasco da Gama, did journeys through most of the parts of the world before Guru Nanak. There was another Ibn Battuta, an Arab. He went around in so many other countries, but much before Guru Nanak. Even one of the Chinese travelers, he went. In fact, he had to come to India as one of the Chinese travelers. So it's very important to tell a little about these, we call it Sakis, but it's journeys. And I've only chosen only three, because the thing is, if I talk about more, then I mean, there are about 50 or 60. So, sorry. Okay. Right. The first journey I would talk about is when he went to Haridwar. So you all know Haridwar, and many of you might have gone to Haridwar. It's a holy place situated on right bank of Ganges, and every 12 years there's a Kumbh Mela. Probably some people might have heard. And millions of Hindus going there. In fact, even foreigners go there. And it's also called that the Hindus go there to attain moksha, which is salvation. It is placed where three rivers come together: the Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati. But Saraswati river is no more, and it's just mythical river. But that is what is understood, that those three rivers meet at Haridwar. Right. So he first, well, he went to, as I said, many, I think over 50, and it's well documented. In fact, even now, there are researchers going to every little part of place where Guru Nanak traveled, and they're making documentary, actually photographic more documentary, and we have seen some already. And at every place he went, almost at every place he went, there is some kind of solid proof that Guru Nanak was there. In fact, in some areas, his name is mentioned as well. Right. Okay, so Haridwar, let's talk about this. So he used to go, he had two very good friends. One was called Mardana, a Muslim, and the other one was Bala, a Hindu. So he had two friends who used to travel with him. So he went there and he saw a lot of people throwing water towards the sun to honor people in their families who had died. Right? And Guru Nanak went into the Ganges River. He started throwing water at the opposite direction. And a lot of people were quite surprised. So, what is this man? Who is this man? You know, there's only one man throwing on the opposite direction. Probably there's something wrong with this man. And they started laughing and started making jokes at Guru Nanak. So the Pandits, the Brahmins of that place came rushing. And they were quite angry. And they said, what are you doing? You're trying to spoil our spiritual place. What are you doing? He said, okay, Guru Nanak asked, I'll ask you, what are you doing? What all these people are doing? They said, don't you know, for centuries, we all come, all the Hindus come here and throw water to the dead ones. Guru Nanak asked, for what? To give them happiness, blessings, prosperity. To that, Guru Nanak said, okay, they are gone. When they were living, don't know what you did for them. But I'm throwing water to Punjab, where my fields are dry. Yeah. So where my fields are drying. So in that case, the wheat will grow. And with wheat and other plantations, I'll give it to my people, my dad, my mom, my sister's brother, all my relations who are living. So they said, how's that possible? I said, well, if you can throw water millions of miles, why can't I do just about a few hundred miles? Isn't this more practical? And they didn't have any answer. He said, all the Pandits and Brahmins, you do all this. In fact, you are fooling people who are very, very poor. They come from many, many parts of the world, of India, right? And you make money out of them. This is paying ritualism. So what he was trying to show was, you should not go on the ritualism. There should be some reason behind it. So this is a very practical show to tell the people, no ritualism, no superstitions. Right. So this was the first, very brief, very, very brief. Right. Now, the second one, which would be more appropriate for you, because this is his travels to Sri Lanka. In fact, he went to a lot of South Indian pilgrimages, and in fact, there are each place there are gurdwaras, and they're solid proof where he went. But this one I will tell you, okay? So Guru Nanak Dev Ji visited Ceylon, right? I think at that time it was called Simhal Dvipa. Raja, is that right? So at that time it was called Simhal Dvipa. That was Ceylon's old name. So he went and sat in a garden which belonged to Shiv now, some king or prince or of that time on that area, right? And his name was Shivnab. Shivnab actually means Nab is what do you call it? No, sorry. Shivnab is navel of Shiv. Nab is actually navel. Shiv is Shiv. So his name was from there. So he went and sat in his garden, which was quite barren at that time. There were nothing, right? Or there were whatever plants were there. There were no flowers. And so the servants of this prince or king ran to the master and said, oh, there is some evil person sitting in your garden with your permission, right? And they want to meet you. And he, the Shivnab was regarded as very egoistic person. So this particular Saki or legends about egoism. And so Shivnab said, no, I'm a prince. I'm owner of this place. I won't come. So he said, okay, go and give whoever he is some food or, maybe plate full of some gold or something of that sort. probably will go. Probably he is poor, he wants some money out of me or whatever. So his servants took the plate of food and diamonds and gold, whatever it is, right? And they took him, and he said, sorry, I don't want this. I want Shivnab to come. I'm his guest. So if you are a guest, then the landlord should come, because the guests are like gods in our dharmic religions. He said no. Then he sent some dancing girls. So he's, Shivnab thought, oh, maybe he's some odd person, and the guru addressed the girls as his daughters, right? Because he wanted him to come. So in the end, he came. Then he came, and he was very angry. He said, what is your caste? Are you a Brahmin, a shopkeeper, a Hindu, Muslim, or Gorakhnath, king, God, top God? And Guru Nanak Dev Ji had answers for all this. In a poetic way, he answered, which I'm going to read it out actually, all right, slowly. He said, above is the sky, Gorakh is above the sky, because the God is in the sky. Is inaccessible abroad, and is no one can reach him. Nanak has become such an anchoret. Nanak has become his servant, so that he can tell the people, whoever he meets, that do not be egoistic, do not regard yourself as more than God. There is Gorakhnath up there, there's God up there. Always remember him. He is the one. He is the one who created you. So what happened was, he got something in his sense, and he said, I think he fell onto his feet. Now, on this is very contradictory what I've said, because there are a lot of different stories about it, and there's still a lot of research going on. So, in fact, very, very recent research is going on about Guru Nanak's visit and what exactly happened in Shivnab's place. So, as a footnote, right, I'll tell you that what happened was, according to one of the big researchers, right, what happened was that Guru Nanak did go, and however, it was established in a recent research paper that Guru Nanak's was under Shivnab. He did, and the chap who wrote, in fact, I've got all the documentations here actually. What he says is that I've come to know more than I made. Sorry. So I would be sorry. What I was trying to say was, he said the names have been in different places. Their researchers have led to the discovery of an inscription mentioning the name of Nanak Acharya, about which further investigations are being carried out. So rather than Guru Nanak, the name was Nanak Acharya. Word Nanak Acharya was also mentioned in another inscription found by Ashok Kane and another chap who were the researchers. And they said that Nanak did come a couple of times in that energy. So therefore, I would like to discuss further once I know more about it. So it would be futile to discuss this journey any further for the time being. But this was just to show that Guru Nanak was there. He did go to Shivnab. There is a connection between Guru Nanak and Shivnab was some prince or king of one place. But this was just to show that that Guru Nanak went there and just to sort of break his ego. Right, so now the third journey, although this is not the last, but this is the third journey I'm going to talk about, is when he went to Mecca, Saudi Arabia. Right. So these are just three journeys I've chosen out of many. So Guru Nanak going to Mecca, right? So Guru Nanak with his friends went to Mecca, and when reaching Saudi Arabia, where and in Mecca itself, the town, the city, he was very tired. He would have been walking miles and miles, well, of course, stopping at different places. And of course, you know, where was he getting food and all that. I mean, when people come to know that there is some guru-like figure, some very wise person, you always have people following him. So he had already had a huge followers following him wherever he was going, listening to his sermons, listening to his lyrics, right? Because undoubtedly, you know, he would have had an absolutely melodious and spiritual uplifting voice. It has to be very soothing. That's why people were enchanted by what he was singing. Definitely it was blissful, heavenly. Right, so when he reached Kaaba, he was very tired. He sort of slept. When he slept, his feet was towards Kaaba, the most sacred place for the Muslims, right? So a lot of people around, when they saw that, they went to the chief Qazi that there is someone who was sort of sleeping there and facing his feet towards Kaaba. And the chief Qazi, in fact, we even have his name. His name was Ruknuddin. Even the names are there, because it's all documented. Because there were a lot of writers with him, there were a lot of reporters with him. You know, even the Mughal Empire, they used to send secret agents following such people, and used to write. So all these has come not just from one source, all this has come from many different sources, which are all there, right? Okay, so when the Qazi reached and saw this Guru Nanak sleeping quietly and very tired, and his feet facing towards Kaaba, he shouted, he said, "Infidel, how dare you dishonor God's place?" He kicked Guru Nanak. And Guru Nanak, the godly person, with his calm voice and with a smile, said, "Well, Qazi," I mean, he knew the ways of Muslims, because he learned all that. He learned Hindu scriptures, he learned Islamic scriptures, he knew a lot of languages, as I said. He knew Farsi, he knew Sanskrit, he knew Punjabi, etc., etc. So in his calm voice, he said, "Brother," he said with a smile, "I'm very tired, I'm resting. But if you think that I'm facing, my feet are facing towards Kaaba, can you turn my feet into a direction where God does not live, where God is not found?" And Qazi, being, you know, angry, full of anger, going red, he said, "Okay." He held his feet and started taking round and round and round, vigorously, until he sort of he was about to fall down. He was struck with wonder. Why? Because when he was doing it, he saw Kaaba turning around. Right? So, and he couldn't understand it. But it's a very simple reasoning, because he was so angry, he was so annoyed that probably he was turning around himself so many times and so fast, rather than Kaaba turning, his head was turning around. So he saw Kaaba everywhere. So what he was trying to show here was that God does not exist in one corner of earth. God is everywhere. God is in you, God is in me, God is everywhere. The Creator created you all to live happily together. And don't say that, oh, I'll face east, west, north, wherever you are. Take God with you. Always think of him. So that is the third journey. I just wanted as an example. And in fact, one of the you probably might be surprised that he went to Mecca, which is Islamic pilgrimage place. In fact, one of the followers at that time, after listening to all his sermons there, because started talking about gold and this thing and that thing, he said, Guru Nanak, can you give me something as a record that I was with you, wandering with you, listening to your sermons? And poor Guru Nanak didn't have anything apart from sandals, the wooden sandals. And he gave his wooden sandals to him. And in fact, those sandals, he brought it back, that Muslim chap, and they are still to be found in a place called Bahawalpur, which is now in Pakistan. And the person, his generations and generations, still keep that sandals there as a record. It's unbelievable. Right, so there we are. Very, very simple, because as I said, I cannot, here you can talk and never finish talking about Guru Nanak, right? So this is all I want to say. And now I'll talk about his last few days, which again is very, very important. Yeah. So, in fact, one of the biggest legends, was the last days, but I have to tell you about the first days, how he got into it. So, how he got revelation, which is again is very interesting. So, this would be to do with his disappearance, right? So every morning, Guru Nanak got up and went to take a bath in the river. I believe it was a river Ravi, as far as I know. Guru Nanak loved to pray. One day, as usual, Guru Nanak prepared to bath, leaving his clothes on the river bank. He went deep, but vanished. As I said, his friends used to be always with him. Mardana couldn't find him. And he ran to his place and started running and shouting. He said, "Oh, my friend Guru Nanak has drowned. And he can't be found." So the whole village came rushing around. Oh, Guru Nanak, he was much loved, undoubtedly, because from very first day, he had shown of something which were unusual. So waiting, on the third day, Guru Nanak came back out of the river, alive and well. He sat on the bank, dripping, quiet, contemplating, and thinking of God. He seemed absorbed by some mystery or some secret. He was very, very quiet. After a long silence, Guru Nanak spoke, and those were his first words. Just try to see what he said. There is no Muslim and there is no Hindu. God is not a Hindu or a Muslim. Whose path shall I follow? I follow God's path. So in all, what he was trying to say, of course, is there's only one creator, one God for everyone. He had vision of God's presence, where he was entrusted by the Almighty with the task of preaching the divine name, or in Punjabi called Naam, to the world. The Almighty gave him a goblet brimming with nectar. Now, this is a legend, right? Which Guru Nanak drank, and the Almighty commanded. You'll see this is quite common to most of the prophets. Go hence and do the work. Vidauksha was born for, but he was the Creator commanded him. So in a way, he was actually a messenger of God. On re-emergence, some people saw a halo around his head. It has been scientifically proven the halo does exist around people of supernatural powers. That, these supernatural people with supernatural powers have got so much enigma, so much strength, so much temperature, so much heat in the body. Well, the temperature would be, if you measure, the temperature would be the same like any other body. But this was something different to all of the human beings. So when the heat, especially in the heat of India, when it passes from the head and passes through different layers of air, the refraction of the light, a halo is formed. This is exactly like solar, rainbow. It's exactly the same phenomenon. There's no difference. Rainbow is also formed when light passes through one layer of and the second layer, and there's a refraction of the light. So that is a big possibility. So with this charge, Guru Nanak left his job and spent many years traveling through India and other parts. So this was the beginning. And then I told you about the travel already. So now the last days of Guru Nanak, right, are very, very important because they had passed. But after all his journeys, Guru Nanak returned from his mission tours and lived in Kartarpur until the end of his days. The Guru became widely renowned and respected for his humble service to humanity. Newly founded Sikh, Hindu, Muslim devotees all claim the Guru as one of their own prophets. So he already had gathered hundreds and thousands, probably, followers, because they were fed up of the atrocities which had been performed on them for years and years of slavery by the aggressors. So he came back, right? Now the last days after he came, so he came to live in Kartarpur, and people used to come to his house to do meditation, to do prayers, to talk or to listen to his sermons, and also to have langar or to have food after that. This is where the langar service started from, straight from Guru Nanak. You know, we have all heard of as Gurdwaras do have langars or food. This is where it started, because he saw that hundreds and thousands of people started flocking to his residence in Kartarpur. Right. The last days now. When it became apparent that Guru Nanak Dev Ji was imminent, an argument ensued as to who would claim the Guru's body or funeral rites. The Muslim wished to bury him according to their customs, but the Hindus wished that they wanted to cremate his body according to their values, according to their beliefs. To settle the matter, Guru Nanak Dev, he said, if he himself said that my remains should be disposed of, and by whom I'll let you know. He explained the concept of Jyoti Jyot, which is the last ceremony, you know, when the person passes away, that only his mortal body would expire, but that light which illumined with light, the divine light, and would pass to his successor. So he said, of course, when my body goes, my light would still be there, my soul would be there. That light has to be passed to his successor. So the Guru requested his devotees to bring flowers and instructed the Sikhs and Hindus to place flowers on the right side and the Muslims to place flowers on the left side. He told them that permission for funeral rites would be determined by whichever set of flowers remained fresh throughout the night. After he had departed, his body had brought flowers which did not wilt, should have the honor of disposing of mortal remains in the manner they deemed fit. Guru Nanak then requested that the prayers of Sohila and Japji Sahib, which is the Sikh prayers actually. Japji Sahib is the first prayer that Guru Nanak made. And Sohila is one of the prayers Sikhs do just before they sleep. After the prayers had been recited, the Guru requested that those present arrange a sheet over his head and body. And then he instructed everyone to leave him. With his last breath, Guru Nanak infused his spiritual light into his successor, second Guru. And his name is Guru Angad Dev Ji. He himself appointed the second successor was Guru Angad Dev Ji. Now Guru Angad Dev Ji was not related to him. Guru Nanak Dev Ji had two sons. One became ascetic, right? A sort of a yogi, and started wandering around, right? And the second son was not, but he was not going on according to what Guru Nanak wanted him to carry on his mission. Right. So the Sikh, Hindu, and Muslim devotees. So you can see he had Sikhs, of course, at that time were Hindus. He had Muslim devotees at that time already, because he claimed that there's no Hindu, there's no Muslim, all the same. When they returned the following morning, on the 2nd September 1539, they carefully lifted and removed the sheet which had been placed over the Guru's body. All were amazed and astonished to discover that no trace at all remained of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's mortal body. Only fresh flowers remained, for not a single bud had wilted for any blossom which had been left by either Sikhs, Hindus, or Muslims the night before. So it's a mystery, right? It's this magic mystery, whatever you call it, it's a miracle, right? Now that would be another topic to maybe after I'm finished. There's a lot to talk about that, because these things have happened all over, whichever religion you take. So commemoration. So this is the end now. The Sikhs, Hindu, and Muslim devotees responded by erecting 2 separate memorials in order to commemorate Guru Nanak Dev Ji. They were as their own. 2 shrines, one built by Sikhs and Hindus, and the other by the Muslims, were placed side by side on the banks of the river Ravi in Kartarpur, where he came back to live, a part of Punjab located in modern-day Pakistan. But over the centuries, both the shrines have each washed away twice by flooding and been rebuilt, but there is no sign of that. Then again, it is a miracle. So no one can say. So Guru Nanak is considered by Sikhs to have departed his body only. His illumination, spirit jot, is believed to be immortally divine and to have been passed through each of his succeeding Sikh gurus. And then the next guru starts. I think I have overdone I think I cannot go on to the second guru because that would be taken another one. So this is basically Guru Nanak's synopsis. And I hope you found it illuminating. Something you probably might not have read or heard about, but this is a very small part of Guru Nanak, the first Guru.
Thank you very much. We'll give a hand to Mr. Singh because now you have explained to us. Let's give you a hand. Thank you very much, Mr. Singh. You have explained us how Guru Nanak and all the other gurus as well. We will go for a question and answer after Kumar Saipulla Master summarize in Tamil. After that, we'll go for a question and answer. Thank you, Master. Thank you.
அனைத்து மாஸ்டருக்கும் எனது இதயங்களிந்த வணக்கம். இதுவரை மொஹிந்திர சிங் அவர்கள் சீக்கியமும் உலக அமைதியும் என்ற தரப்பில் ஒரு உரையாற்றினார். அவர் கூறியதில் மிக முக்கியமானவற்றை உங்களுடன் பகிர்ந்து விரும்புகின்றேன். சீக்கியம் சீக் சமயமானது மிகவும் ஒரு அமைதியான ஒரு சமயம். சமூக நீதிக்காகவும் எல்லோர் சமயம் இன்னும் நேர்மைக்காகவும் பாடுபட்ட ஒரு சமயம் என்று சொல்லலாம். ஏனென்றால் இதற்காக ஏன் முக்கியம் என்றால் எப்பொழுதும் மனிதாபிமான நேரத்திலே இந்த சமயம் ஆரம்பிக்கப்பட்டது என்று கூறுகின்றேன். மற்ற அடுத்தது முக்கியமாக இது இந்தியாவில இது 2வது இடத்தை பெற்றிருக்கிறது. உங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் தெரியும், இந்தியாவில பௌத்த மதமும் சமண மதமும் இப்ப இல்லாம போய்விட்டது. முதலாவது இந்து சமயமும், அடுத்ததாக சீக்கிய சமயம் 2வதாக இருக்கின்றது. இந்த சமயத்தை 5 குருமார்கள் ஆரம்பித்து வைத்தார்கள். அதில் முதலாவது உங்களுக்கு எல்லோருக்கும் தெரியும், குரு நானக் தான் முதலாவது குரு. அவரை பற்றி நான் சொல்ல விரும்புகின்றேன். இந்த 10 குருமார்களும் கிட்டத்தட்ட 1479 வரைக்கும் 1702 வரையும் இதை பரப்பினார்கள். சீக்கியம் வந்து கிட்டத்தட்ட 500 வருடகாலங்களாக இருக்கின்றது. இதன் முக்கிய குறிக்கோள் என்னவென்றால் வந்து ஒரு ஆன்மீகத்தை பரப்புவது, மற்றது ஒரு விழிப்புணர்வை ஏற்படுத்துவது, மற்றது வந்து எப்பொழுதும் வந்து நேர்மையாகவும் கௌரவத்துடையும் வாழ வேண்டும் என்ற கொள்கையை அடிப்படையாக கொண்டு இந்த சமயம் ஆரம்பிக்கப்பட்டது. முதலாவது வந்து குரு வந்து குரு நானக் அவர்கள். இவர் வந்து ஒரு எளிமையான வாழ்க்கையை வாழ்ந்தார். இவர் வந்து அநேகமாக இவருடைய மூட நம்பிக்கைகளை தவிர்த்து எறிவதற்காக பல முயற்சிகள் செய்தார். இந்த தன்னுடைய சமயத்தை மற்றவர்களுக்கு சில நேரங்கள்ல சமூகத்திலே விழிப்புணர்வு ஏற்படுத்தினார் என்று கூறலாம். அடுத்தது வந்து இவர் எப்பொழுதும் வந்து நன்மையே செய்ய வேண்டும் என்ற ஒரு விழிப்புணர்வுடன் தெளிவு ஏற்பட்டது. இவர் வந்து பல இடங்களுக்கு பயணம் செய்தார். அதாவது முதலாவது வந்து என்ன சொன்னார் என்றால், நான் இந்துவும் இல்லை, முஸ்லீம் இல்லை, எல்லோருக்கும் ஒரு பொதுவான கடவுளை நம்புகிறேன் என்ற கொள்கையை பரப்பினார். அடுத்து அவர் சொன்னார் வந்து, நாங்கள் கற்றால் மட்டும் போதாது, அந்த கற்ற அறிவை மற்றவர்களுக்கு கொடுத்து கூற வேண்டும் என்று கூட நான் சொன்னார். இவர் வந்து இவருடைய பயணத்திலே தன்னுடைய கொள்கைகளை பரப்பினார். இவருடைய பயணங்களை 3 மட்டும் சொல்லுகின்றேன். ஒன்று வந்து கேங்கஸ்டிவ் போனார், அடுத்தது ஸ்ரீலங்காவுக்கு போயினார், அங்கே மெக்காவுக்கு போனார். இங்கே 3 இடத்திலையும் வந்து சில மூட கொள்கைகளை ஏற்றுக்கொள்ளவில்லை. அது மூட கொள்கை கூடாது என்று நிரூபித்து கடவுள் ஒருவரே இருக்கின்றார், எங்கே உலகம் முழுக்க இருக்கின்றார் என்ற கொள்கையை இவர் பரப்பினார். இவர் வந்து சீக்கிய சமயத்தை வந்து மிகவும் முன்னணிக்கு கொண்டு வந்த முதல் குரு இவர். இவருடைய பல அற்புதங்களுடைய வாழ்க்கை நிறைந்திருக்கின்றது. ஒரு முறை இவர் வந்து குளிக்க போய் வராமல் இருந்த அங்கு உள்ளவர்கள் எல்லாரும் வேறு எங்கே போனார் என்று கருதினார்கள். இவர் தண்ணீர் மூழ்கி விட்டார் என்று கருதினார்கள். ஆனால் 3ஆம் நாத்து இவர்கள் வந்து ஒரு அதிசயத்தை ஏற்படுத்தியதாக இங்கு பயிரப்பட்டுள்ளது. அவருடைய முழு நம்பிக்கையும் என்னென்றால், உலகத்திலே இறைவன் ஒருவர் தான் இருக்கின்றார், அவர்தான் படைப்பாளி, அந்த படைப்பாளியை நாங்கள் பின்பற்ற வேண்டும். அது மட்டுமில்ல, தியானத்தில் ஈடுபட வேண்டும், நல்ல நல்ல சிந்தனைகளுடன் வாழ வேண்டும் என்று இது குருநானக் பரப்பினார் என்று கூறி தன்னுடைய வெளியே முடித்தினார். இதற்குடைய நன்றியை தெரிவிக்கின்றேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you very much, Kumar Saipilla Master, for your excellent summarizing Mr. Singh's speech. And thank you so much, Mr. Mohinderijit Singh. And what is it? I want to know, you said the Guru Nanak is the first Guru who brought this Sikhism. So before Sikhism,